I just wanted to create a quick video on the Tina Knowles interview that everyone is saying where she emasculated her husband. And I want to give a different perspective. I want to give the perspective of looking for the purpose and good instead of looking at what was wrong or what people perceived to be wrong with the interview. Now, when I saw all the titles about how she emasculated her man and how she did such horrible things and was so super disrespectful, I listened to it and I was like, wow, what was so horrible about it? I'm going to explain to you why I came to that conclusion. One of the things that she said in her interview, or how she started out, is about loving self, being in love with herself, loving what she's accomplished, loving what she's done. And people were calling that narcissistic. Narcissism, okay. The definition of narcissism is this. It is a person who has an excessive interest in or admiration of themselves. Now the key is excessive. In her interview, she was describing that in the beginning she didn't have an appreciation or admiration of herself. She actually had to go through some exercises to begin just having a healthy respect for herself, of being proud of her accomplishments, being proud of what she has done. That's not narcissism. That's having a healthy appreciation for herself. And it's interesting because in the Black community, we have been taught and trained to hate ourselves. And it's very fascinating because people have associated her beginning to have an appreciation, a healthy appreciation, not excessive, with narcissism. And to me, that reflects the level of self-hate that we have of ourselves in a community. And we can also see how it manifests in other things where we have a problem with other people, other Black people who become successful. We're threatened by it. We take it personally. When you have an unhealthy look of yourself, and it's definitely a misperception. You're not seeing yourself in a healthy way. You don't appreciate yourself. You can't find ways to appreciate yourself, because when you do, you can actually celebrate the successes of others. I'm like tickled pink when I see other Black Americans or Black people in general be successful, and they're going for it and are creating the things that they want in their life and have a healthy life. I'm like, go for it. I love to connect with them because those are people that have gotten over certain humps, certain things certain dysfunctions that have been programmed into us to keep us down, to keep us hating ourselves, to keep us defeated in mindset and body and soul, and to keep us feeling undeserving. So it's very fascinating to find the community respond to her interview, to respond to her finding a healthy respect for herself as narcissistic. And then the next thing that people had a huge issue with was when, she said that he wasn't perfect. Nobody is perfect. And nobody, I think everybody understands that nobody is perfect. Yet, she didn't stop there. She ended with, I understand, he's not perfect, he's a human being. However, I still love him in all of his quote unquote imperfections, because the characteristics he has that I really love far outweigh his imperfections. Now that's how I saw that comment that she made, because nobody is going to claim that they're perfect, and to expect somebody else to find you perfect or expect them to see you as perfect, okay, that there's no flaws, no nothing, is one, unrealistic, and that also puts a unrealistic expectation on yourself. Because if you expect others to see you as perfect, what kind of unrealistic expectation and what kind of stress does that put on yourself? Because now you have to act perfect. Instead of being with somebody that knows that you have your struggles and your flaws and things that you're working on. But you know what? I still love you anyway. I still appreciate you, and I still am glad that I have you in my life. That's how I saw what she took. How she commented on him, because she didn't end on his imperfections. She ended on what she liked. That his characteristics. She's grateful for them, and that's, she's glad that he's in her life. So again, the fact that people chose to respond on, or chose to focus on the realistic part, or the healthy imaging, the understanding that, hey, I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. She never said she was perfect in that interview. She just said that she found, and here's what I want you to understand. Because she was able to find aspects of herself that she could be proud of. She could see that in her partner. She could see that in her husband. Okay? That's what that reflected. And because she was able to like herself, what she said was absolutely true. You aren't going to draw somebody into your life that likes you if you don't like yourself. So she actually imparted some very key wisdom out there, because that's absolutely true what she said. If you don't like yourself, you're not going to draw people into you that are going to like you. And if you don't like yourself, it's really hard to like somebody else and to appreciate the good characteristics in somebody else, because you can't see them in yourself. And so to me, that is what I saw in that interview. And so it's interesting, let me get back to this other part, that the fact that people chose to look at, she said he wasn't perfect, as something, and just stop there. It's like, blow that up, okay? And just focus on that, again, shows where we are in our mindset, where we are in our psychology. That because we don't like ourselves that much on average, and have some self-hate running through us, that's been programmed through us by our experiences through slavery, and been passed down through generations, because it hasn't been healed. There's a lot of healing that we need to do. And these kinds of situations are perfect opportunities to see where we need that healing. And again, the fact that we focused on that shows that again, level of self-hate, because we focus on the negative, because that's what's going through us all the time. And I don't see that as negative. I see that as, okay, good. She doesn't expect me to be perfect. That's how I see that. But she still loves me anyways. She still she still loves me. She still sees my good parts, and that's what she's choosing to focus on. Do you know how amazing that is in a relationship? To have somebody see you as not perfect, and they still love you. They still love you with your warts, your faults, but they choose to focus on the things that make them happy. They don't focus on, what makes them unhappy. Because if she focused on his faults, she would have ended there. She would have emphasized that. But she didn't. She emphasized on the fact that he had some great characteristics that she liked, that made her happy, that in her mind made that relationship successful. So again, that's my view of it. I didn't see that she emasculated him. I didn't see that she was disrespectful. I saw that she saw him as a human being and accepted him as being a human being. And in a healthy relationship, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Again, it's what you choose to focus on. It's what you choose to focus on that really is important. And she chose to focus on the good, because that's how she ended. Listen to the interview again. Listen to it without any perception, okay? Any perception or anything like that. And then you can begin to kind of see from a less charged mindset, a less charged position, what she's actually saying. So that's all. I just wanted to leave my 2 cents on that, and that's really all I have to share. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please like, comment, subscribe. I want to hear what your comments are, or your ideas are about looking at it from this point of view. So yeah.